Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Box Set Bytes. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the 2006 release from Legacy Recordings. This is Waylon Jennings' Nashville Rebel. This is a 4 CD set, and it spans his entire career from 1958 to 1995. And as we can see here, we'll look at the back. This is just a paper sheet that's glued on the back of the box set here, and I'll give you a rundown of the track listing here so you can take a look at that. There's 92 tracks here over 4 CDs, and as you can see, each disc is chronologically ordered here from beginning to end. And then we'll open the box like this. And here we have 2 CDs on this side. And then under this very heavy duty book here, we got 2 CDs on the other side. Now, aside from all the great music that's included on here, this is a really interesting book. It's, I think, around 140 pages. So there's lots of nice images and essays and things like that included in here. So we'll kind of go through the book here and give you a look at what's all included. Now, for those of you who don't know, Waylon Jennings got his start. He was a DJ for local radio stations around his area in Lubbock, Texas. And then later, he became friends with Buddy Holly. And Buddy Holly actually produced his first record, or his first recording, and that song is included on the box set here as the first track. And we got a couple essays in the beginning here, one by his wife at the beginning, and then just lots of great information here and lots of great pictures as well. You can see here he was actually Buddy Holly's bass player in his band as well. And also in 1959, when Buddy Holly's plane went down and crashed in Iowa, Waylon Jennings was actually supposed to be in that plane with him, but he actually gave his seat on the plane up to the Big Bopper, and Waylon hopped on the bus and headed to Moorhead, Minnesota. So if not for that, Waylon Jennings would have been on that same plane crash in 1959 in Clear Lake, Iowa. Here you can see early on in his career, he even had a starring role in a movie called Nashville Rebel, which is also the name of this box set. Now, after leaving Buddy Holly's band, and after his passing, he continued to play on his own. And eventually he got a recording contract with RCA Victor in Nashville. Another one of his friends at the time, Willie Nelson, he kind of urged him not to go to Nashville. He said, "You won't like it there." And despite that warning, he decided to head to Nashville anyway, and he got a recording contract. And then made several records there, but the records that he was making at the time were kind of utilizing the Nashville sound, as they call it. Chet Atkins was the head of RCA down there at the time, and had a lot of studio musicians, and Waylon really didn't get his say in how he wanted his recordings recorded and things like that. But then right around this time here, 1972, 73, Waylon was thinking about retiring. He was getting upset with the way RCA was being run. And then some of these albums in this era here, he got a new manager and they renegotiated his contract. And finally, Waylon, you can see here, he kind of changed his image a little bit, kind of went with that outlaw look. And he was able to produce his own records, sing the songs that he wanted to sing. and have the musicians that he wanted to play on the records, not just the studio musicians that Chet Atkins had assigned to his recordings. But also around this time, there was a heavy drug addiction with amphetamines and cocaine and things like that. He also shared an apartment for a time with Johnny Cash, and it was around that time where they were really heavy into drugs. But if I remember right, I think it was around the early 80s, I think, is when he finally got into rehab, and was able to come clean from all of that. There's just lots of great music. Of course, the ever famous Waylon Willie record there. They've done a lot of great duets together. And his wife there, country singer Jessie Coulter. And a lot of these pictures are just a lot of different celebrities that he's been around in his day. And there he is with Johnny Cash. And of course, as a lot of you remember, he was the narrator for the Dukes of Hazzard series. I think that was 1980, I think, is that when that started. It's called The Balladeer for Dukes of Hazzard. He made an acting appearance in one episode. I think it was in one of the later seasons. And then he had a few albums with the Highwaymen, with Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, and Willie Nelson. But then later in his life, he did have a bad case of diabetes, a lot of health issues from his years of drug addiction. I believe he had something like a 6-pack of cigarettes a day smoking habit, which was not healthy. I think shortly before he died, he actually did have one of his feet amputated because of diabetic complications. And then unfortunately he did pass away in 2002. And then here in the very end of the book, we have a short little essay here from his son, Shooter Jennings. And then again at the end, there's lots of different credits here, which is really nice. It actually says who played the instruments on each track. It's always interesting to read that when you're listening to the tracks. So just a lot of really good music, good information, good pictures. So I'd say if you're a Waylon Jennings fan at all, this is a really good collection of music to get. So that's the Waylon Jennings Nashville Rebel 2006 Legacy Recordings box set. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.